Is netcode becoming a serious problem?
Holy Jesus! What is that? What the fuck is that?
Hey, what's up guys, Irish Tail here, and in today's video I want to kind of try and explore that question. Is netcode becoming an issue in Siege? Now, before we start this video, I'm just going to pre-exit this with me saying, yes, it is a problem. I'm a huge hater of the netcode at the minute. I've had so many issues with it that this is probably more of a saying of everything in this netcode needs to change. But you know what, let's try and explore it a little bit. So obviously, for those of you guys that don't know, netcode is essentially just like, it's a blanket term for networking, like in online games. But when we're talking about it here, whenever I mention netcode, it generally tends to be synchronization issues between my client and the game server and then another player's client. And that's basically where these issues come in. I've briefly mentioned this before in a lag video, but again, netcode is also another problem. Now in Siege, very recently, I've noticed that there are more and more issues with netcode. If you've noticed, since Glass has been buffed, there have been a lot more issues with you firing the gun on top of a target and getting no damage on them. And that seems to be a huge problem, not only with netcode, but with Glass's operator in general. But beyond this operator, there are problems with other ones as well. Now in the clip you're going to see there is a slight section where I get a headshot, I think it's twice in a row, and there is no kill for it. And you can sort of tell in that clip that I should have gotten the kill, but for some reason the game doesn't register. Maybe it's because of netcode, maybe it's because of other issues, but that's the general idea here. The issue is Siege isn't, or doesn't rather, have a very good netcode at the minute. There is something wrong with it, and it seems that Ubisoft have broken it further because people are getting shots that they should get kills with, and they're not. And this sort of extends as well to things like Montagne players. They notice things where a player's in front of them on their screen, but on the enemy's screen they're behind them and they get the knife kill. And this is a huge netcode issue. Now personally, I'm kind of shocked. I mean, the game has been out for over a year, it's growing. Ubisoft have said they want to add in like 100 operators. They want to make this their game that they support for the next 10 years. This is going to be their cash cow that they try and make as much money off of. It's kind of like almost a replacement for Assassin's Creed almost, for the game that they want to try and draw money out of constantly. Now, while that is a good thing, while it's great that they want to build Siege up, I'm not overly keen on how broken things are and what they're trying to fix. So at the minute, if you've looked up the patch notes for the most recent patch that Ubisoft have done, they fixed a couple of things here and there, but generally they've still not addressed the netcode. It's the only thing that I saw mentioned in it in the patch notes was very briefly they talked about how Glaz was getting a fix so that, you know, he could aim a little bit better, and you know, like that's all well and good to fix one operator, but that doesn't fix the whole problem. And the netcode is a massive problem. It needs to be fixed, and it seems like Ubisoft at the minute are kind of just ignoring it. And I don't know. It's one of those things that I think I'm a little bit disappointed with as a community that we haven't spoken up about it, but also with developer wise, they haven't decided to fix it. I mean, it's the biggest problem, and it's been in here for quite a few months now, and there's still no fixes been made, and it's just a bit ridiculous, really. I mean, yes, you know, they make the little fix changes here and there, and they fix things that, you know, make issues, but they ignore the netcode. And as I've said in this video, if you've seen it already, I've probably thrown it in at the start, that video there, I got a headshot. That is not an isolated incident. It happens more and more frequently. The more you play, the more you notice it. And it becomes ridiculous because they haven't touched it, they haven't fixed it. It's been a problem for at least 2 seasons now, and it's still not being fixed. And while I appreciate they fix other things, this is a key problem. And I think what Ubisoft needs to do is they should take a step back and they should look at the problem and they should say, right, we need to fix this before the next season update comes out. Realistically, I think they should fix it before the new operators come out, or when the new operators come out, because it's ridiculous. Like they've talked about here in the patch notes, which I'll leave a link to just if you're interested. They've said things like when you're playing with Glaz, you know, players like don't feel like their hits are landing, and they don't know when they're landing, and there's issues where blood splatters don't appear on successful shots, or and then they don't even mention here that successful shots don't land. They seem to be avoiding the subject that there's actually bigger issues at play here. And it worries me, it really does, because netcode is a huge part of a first-person shooter. If that isn't on point, you can't trust that getting a kill is going to be solid every single time. And when it comes to this kind of game, you need that. You need to know that you're getting a direct kill every time you're putting a shot out. You need to know that bullet is going to hit a target if it's aimed on properly. And right now, that doesn't seem to be the case. It's broken, and Ubisoft have still ignored it, they haven't addressed it. And it's becoming an issue because, like, we've had other problems in the game that have been a while. You can look at, right, Hibana, her Kairos pellets have been broken pretty much since launch. And they're only just looking to fix it. They've only just, in this patch notes, mentioned, we're investigating the issue. It's like the pellets aren't detonating for a long time. But they've found out where the issue is, but they're still not fixing it yet. They even said in this patch notes they're not fixing it yet because they don't know how to yet, and they need to rebuild the back end of Hibana's gadget, and that concerns me that this has been a problem that's been there for so long, and they still haven't fixed it. And netcode, in my opinion, is a bigger issue. I can play without a Hibana. I can't play without a headshot registering. That's as simple as it is, really. And like I say, it happens a lot more painfully than I ever want it to work. I don't know, it's just ridiculous. And I'm not keen on it. It needs to be looked into. So, like I said, my opinion is it needs to be fixed. Obviously, I'm not going to stop playing, but it's one of those things where I'm highly disappointed when it happens, and it's things like, what makes it worse is if you're in ranked and you know you should have gotten a kill and that player then kills you and you see they've taken no damage even though on your screen there's been loads of blood splatters. That's really disheartening. It really makes you not want to play the game anymore because it affects you so heavily and you feel disappointed by it. You feel like you've been cheated out of a kill that should have rightfully been yours. So, that's just kind of my gripe about it. Now, look, I do understand that Ubisoft have other things to focus on. They do have other bugs to fix. I mean, recently, they've said they're fixing, like, the glass problems. They're trying to fix that. Although, in my opinion, they're fixing the wrong part of it. They're increasing Montaña's hipfire spread because they think he's too good with a laser sight, which, is fair enough. They've got, like, Echo's drone now, so it can disorientate if it hits any part of an enemy's body, which I think is a lot nicer because it means you don't have to be as precise on getting a player, which in my opinion is good. It's nice to know they're fixing bits and pieces, but there are bigger issues at hand that I think they've just ignored and they're still not doing. I mean, it's just one of these problems that I'm not happy with, and that's just my opinion. At the end of the day, this is just my opinion. This is something that I think needs to be fixed. Excuse me. But, that's it. So, now I want to kind of hear your opinions, guys. How often have you been struggling with netcode issues? Have you had these moments where you've gotten a headshot that you know should have been a headshot, but it wasn't a headshot, according to the game? Let me know your experiences of it in the comments below. How often does it happen to you? Is it frequent? Is it infrequent? Do you find it happens when you've got more ping, or when it's just standard ping? Because, like I say, in my case, I have standard ping, but it seems to happen regardless. So, that's just my experience of the problem. Let me know yours, and let me know if you've got any ideas on how Ubisoft could fix it all, or if you think it's a problem they need to fix, or is it just something that you think that could be ignored for now and could be fixed at a later date? Like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe for more Rainbow Six Siege content on my channel. Also, I have a streaming sort of thing going on now. There's no real schedule for it as of the moment. I'm trying to figure that out at the minute, but there's a link to my Twitch in the description below, which you can more than head over to and follow. I will be streaming on Twitch. I've sort of finally decided. Just for those of you guys that weren't aware, there was a little bit of a toss-up between YouTube and Twitch, and I decided that Twitch was going to be the location simply because I don't think YouTube is set up properly to help a streamer out, help you support the streamer. It's just not very well done, and at the end of the day, I can't stream without support and without proper support. So that's why I'm using Twitch over YouTube. But with that random little point aside, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.